I'm like, man, hold up a second, because those stairs are real steep. My wrestling room, my coach built a second floor into the wrestling room.
Oh no shit!
But his ass did it the Hialeah way, which was
Pardo.
Yeah. So, he did it the easiest way he could think of, and it was like, you don't walk those stairs normal. You walk them like, wait a second, how do we get up here? And then
it was like climbing a mountain in that bitch.
That's the way it is, man. That's the way it is.
Yo, thank you, my brother. I appreciate you, dog.
Could you believe we had DJ Laz walk those steps? Right
oh, for real.
Wow, that's impressive.
That was epic.
We almost had to put him on those little scooter for the steps.
Yeah, that was epic, bro. That was the most epic. That's when you know don't blink is don't blink, bro.
Sporting touch of hands. Round number 1. There's that fast start, and that is the fastest knockout in bare knuckle fighting championship.
K-Bomber, born in the Bronx, raised in Dade. Been in the city since Spit had braids. Baja Panty parties, plata know how to sneak me out. Now it's 7-figure meetings, every day we lead a house. It's game time, the game's mine, you know the vibe. Yo viajado el mundo entero, reppin' 305.
Welcome everybody to another episode of Don't Blink Podcast. You know I got the kid in the building.
Oh, you know we in here, we rocking and rolling. You see this blue
and
shine.
today we have the other half of First Round Management, brother.
Yes.
We got Abraham Kawa in the building, man.
Yes,
Thank
he's
you
in
so
here.
Much. Thank you so much, man.
Appreciate
Hey, everybody treat this man right.
Thank you.
He, all my contracts come to him first, so hey, great to have you on here, my brother.
I appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir, man.
I've been following you guys, and I
Thank you.
love the podcast. So when you told me, I was like, let's go.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yes.
I'm all in.
No, we actually had a long conversation in the parking lot, and I was like, man, I got to get him on the podcast, man.
Hell yeah. No, and then after Malky came too, and he was just telling us stories and how they grew up and everything.
Yeah.
Now we're going to get everything from your point of view, bro.
For real. And you know what? Now that you say it was the first family, you know what I mean?
Oh, there you go. Brother vibes.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Take it.
Yeah.
Take it.
My brother, great to see you, man.
Same.
I wanted to start off by telling you, you look great, man. You
Thank
lost
you.
so much weight.
Thank
and
you, man.
You look healthy as hell.
I feel good.
Yeah.
I've never had this amount of energy before in my life. And
Nice.
this is when I was 25 years old. I got into it's like lifting weights, and,
Right.
and I did a lot of bad things in those times.
Right.
And when I say bad things, I'm talking about like trying to put on 300 pounds in bench press. Like,
Right, yeah.
why?
Yeah.
I'm never going to do that in my life.
Yeah, I was there too.
We all did it. We all did it. Young guys, and you all wanted to show like, oh, I did this.
Right.
This is my max, Right.
Right.
My joints hurt. My back hurts.
Yeah.
My just everything hurt, right?
Yeah.
So then I got fat because I'm in a job that it's 24/7
Yeah, it's
doing
demanding,
this.
very demanding.
It's demanding, and
Absolutely.
people think that, oh, you represent athletes, so you're going to be in this great phenomenal shape. Well, I don't train with I'm not doing your guys' training every day, right? I can't. It's impossible. I've got to take the phone call for the promoter when he's calling me to tell me, yo, I want Uly to fight, blah blah blah. And it's like, okay, cool. I'm going to stop my workout to go talk for 45 minutes to come back into it. It's
Right.
not
It's
realistic.
not
It's
gonna
not
happen.
realistic.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah.
realistic.
Yeah.
So I got fat. And the traveling doesn't help.
Right.
It doesn't help. So I got fat, and
Yeah,
then
bad eating habits and on the go all the time.
you're in a plane. What are you going to eat?
Right.
What are you? I'm on a plane for 12 hours. I mean, come on, man. I'm going to eat. The. Oh, you want to feed me? Yes. Yes. I'm not saying no. You don't say no.
I gotta eat. I gotta eat.
You know what I mean? So it was bad. Like in that. For that, it was bad.
Yeah.
But I learned, and then one day to the next, I got really creepy into.
This is recently too. Yeah.
This is maybe August, my 40th birthday. I just turned 40 in August, and I was
baby.
like,
Okay.
and I was like,
1981?
hey, like,
Let's go.
Okay, let's go. Old niggas in the building. Let's go.
Come on now. So,
Oh, Jeezy's.
Oh, Jeezy's, okay.
I'll take it.
I'll be a young Jeezy.
Listen, how many of us here thought we were going to be here at 40? Right?
That's real talk.
You see what I'm saying?
That's real talk.
So I appreciate the fact that I turned 40, and I said to myself, man, I got 2 kids. One is 12 years old, just turned 12. The other one is 19 months.
Oh, brand new.
I have to have energy for the 19-month-old, and I have to have energy for the 12-year-old. The 12-year-old's a little bit different because they could do things on their own. Everything's fine. But that 19-month-old doesn't care. 7 a.m. come get me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I take an hour nap, and then it's like I'm 24/7, boom, all the way through. So I said, man, I can't be this fat. I've got to lose the weight. I've got to figure out what's right and what's wrong. And then what I realized is, I started reading. I started doing a lot of research just into, the bodybuilders. Everyone gives them a negative, thing for it.
Compensation.
But a lot comes from them. Like if you read the stuff that they do and that they don't, and they don't do, you start realizing, man, they've got some good stuff in there. Now I don't recommend it to everybody because it's not Right. It's not reasonable. You know, no one eats a whole pizza every day.
Right.
You know, it's hard. A bucket of chicken
and no carbs.
Come on, man. That's not realistic. That's not realistic. So I started just from my lifestyle, for the stuff that I like to do and the way I like to, eat, drink, sleep, and do all that. I needed something that works for me. And there's no diet out there that really works for you. There's a diet that works for the masses, and I understand that. And when you talk about a lot of people, you're going to get the numbers because there's so many people doing it.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
It's a numbers game, right?
Exactly.
So, but I wanted something for me. I wanted it to be for this guy. It's got to work for me. So the very first thing I did is I said, let me go find out what I'm not allergic to, but I'm sensitive to. Things that are going to make me inflamed, things that are going to just, they don't feel right. I could tell you guys this. For 3 months, I stopped eating pineapple. And you would think to yourself, pineapple is one of the most anti-inflammatory things in the world, and it is. And I just started eating it again. It's so amazing. I love pineapple. So it really is amazing. And I didn't know that it was inflaming me because it was cross-reacting with other things. So until you do this test and you figure out what's inside of you, you will never know what works for you or what doesn't work for you. And I think that's where medicine and being healthy has kind of slipped. Everyone is kind of thinking no carbs, a lot of protein, which is not a bad diet. In actual reality, it's a great diet. Right. But you can't live off of that forever.
Right. No, and also, like, if you're an athlete or a guy like you that's always on the go, you need some carbs, man, to keep your brain functioning and keep yourself moving. It's energy.
Dude, now I leave the house, I have an apple and an orange. I look for good sugar. I don't go for the colada. I stopped drinking coffee.
Right. No coffee?
Which in Miami is a sin. And
I don't do it either anymore.
I'm just saying. But you know what? I realize the mood goes like this.
I might have to cut this out so nobody kills us on the street.
Don't get me wrong. I slip up every once in a while, and it's gonna happen. But I do not fiend it. I don't look for the coffee anymore. Coffee to me is a mood enhancer. It's a mood changer, and it'll get you good. But man, when that crash comes, where's my next cup of coffee?
Yeah, absolutely. I was listen, every day I was at Starbucks in the morning in line, and then
they're rent. Damn, them shit's over there like $8.
I know. I'm paying the lights at Starbucks.
Abraham getting them
checks.
checks.
Man, you miss it a couple of days, and then you kind of feel like you need it. It's like a drug. It's a drug.
Sugar is the most addictive drug in the world. It is. I don't care who you are. You can find me a meth head. Let me give him a nice dose of sugar, and that thing changes everything all the time. So I realized that, and I said I got to reduce my sugar intake, and I completely reduced sugar. Not that I got rid of it all, because I eat natural. My body fiends natural sugar now. You could bring them on. Right. I don't want to mention names.
Anybody want a bump of sugar?
Yeah, you know what I mean. And I'm just like, no, thank you, no, thank you. And I realized from my daughter, my 19-month-old taught me this big thing on my own. This is not something I read. This is not, and I might be completely off on this, but I just saw her, and then even for me, it worked. I think I told you this outside. Sugar, I depleted for 3 months. The first time I tasted sugar was like, oh my God, this thing is real. Yeah. And I don't want to lose that.
Yeah.
See, when you get used to tasting the sugar every single day or every single week, you lose that. Now you need more sugar just to get you to that
next
taste,
one.
right? To that good taste, right?
Exactly.
But when you give a kid for the very first time a chocolate bar or an ice cream, it's like, oh my God! Hold on. You guys ever seen that movie with the little chipmunk that drinks the energy drink and time freezes?
I
think it's called Over the Hedge or something like that. It's exactly what I felt. I was like, oh my God, I never want this to. I want to taste that again. Yeah. So what I realized is if I deplete my sugar, one, it's better for me. Get off sugar. You don't need it, right? So, well, you need it, but you need the good ones. Right. Deplete the sugar like that. Then when you taste it, it's amazing. Don't indulge.
Right.
Take a bite or two and then just be like, I'm going to save that for
exactly. You really do enjoy it at the time.
And you enjoy it. It's a completely different experience and you don't want to eat all of it eventually. So now I'm a one bite sugar guy where I used to be a cake, a pecan pie. there's nothing I said no to.
The whole Starburst, everything.
You see my brother. It was a competition. He usually won, but it was a competition between us, to go get the food. So it was crazy, man.
And what got you started? Did you go check out a doctor for this to get these tests done?
I did. Okay. So I like I said, I started doing a lot of research, and I realized you go to the doctor, and the doctor gives you, the basic. And even if you go to a hormone therapy guy and the guy tells you, okay, you're low on testosterone. Every guy's low on testosterone. Every person's low on vitamin D. All these things, everyone's low on, right? But what they don't tell you is so cholesterol. I have high cholesterol. It's not necessarily a bad thing. Right. You've got 9 cholesterols.
Right.
There's one bad.
Right.
There's one good. And there's a bunch of other little ones. So your high cholesterol might not be because you're bad. It just might be because you're doing all these other things.
Right.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know that though.
And it could be also because you ate something prior to the test that just got it high for that day.
So I did my research, did a bunch of studying, and then I realized that there's a test you can go take. It's a more in-depth blood panel for the blood work.
Right.
I did it. It was expensive as hell. It's not like this is cheap stuff, but
but your body, you need
your body.
Yeah.
You're gonna spend the money. So I spent the money. I paid. I got better. And then I realized, okay, hold on a second.
You're allergic to pineapple.
Not that I'm allergic. And I love it. I'm killing it now, bro. Listen, when I read my list, like there was things on there that I can't eat lamb. I'm Arabic. I love lamb.
I love lamb too.
I can't eat lamb, right, for 3 months. And I'm like, bro, I'm looking at the guy and I'm like, come on, man. Please? And he goes, it's not me, it's you, bro. You can't eat the lamb. I was like, damn. Okay, so like I couldn't eat lamb. I couldn't eat what was another one? Yogurt. Can't eat yogurt.
I ain't never liked yogurt.
Can't eat chia seeds.
Oh shit!
Fine, I don't even eat chia seeds. I'm like, why can't I eat chia? Now I want to eat chia seeds. I'm like, no, I can't eat chia seeds. But it was stuff like that. It was.
And they took out like gluten and stuff out of the diet too.
So here's the thing. I don't have celiac disease, and this is where the confusion comes in with a lot of people. Celiac disease. If you have celiac disease and you eat gluten, you're gonna die. Okay. Right. I'm not like that. I doubt anybody in this room is like that. Right. Gluten is
in everything.
It's pretty much in anything that's wheat, not wheat. Flour related. That's where you really find that protein is in anything that comes in flour really is going to have gluten in it. So flour tortillas, cake, donuts, you name it, bread.
Yeah.
So you would say I lost 35 pounds, but I lost 35 pounds not eating rice and bread. I can eat rice, but I didn't want it. I was like, I just don't want the rice. I'm okay because here's the deal. In Miami, if you eat rice, what are you eating?
What, steak, beans?
You just said it. You're eating steak and beans every single day. You're going to eat rice, steak, and beans, right? So I said, man, if I eat the rice, I know what's going to happen. I'm going to get the beans. I'm going to get the steak. Right. So let me time out on that. Let me just avoid the rice. I can still eat the steak, but I just won't have the rice there. You got me? So that's kind of the and I can eat the beans too. And it was good for me. You know,
beans is good. Like garbanzo, some things is good. Fire. Yeah. Shout out to the lady at the corner with the little food truck. I love you, baby.
Hey, you know what? Shout out to the Mediterranean food, bro. Lamb chop, baby.
Hey, that's the best, bro.
So are you 3 months up?
My 3 months are up. So now every day I incorporate a food. Okay. And I see how my body reacts. Okay. I can tell you this. As of today, tuna still really. Which I used to eat tuna every single day. Yeah. And I didn't know it was inflaming me. I ate tuna the other day, and the piece of tuna that I ate was about this big. It was a square. Yeah, it was not big at all. Nastiest burps. My joints started to hurt. And I was like, man. And I had to go back in my head and figure out what was it. It was a tuna. So I know tuna is a big no-no for me. I can't touch tuna. I don't think I will touch tuna. I don't want tuna.
Don't touch that shit. Don't touch that shit.
I don't want it, which is good. Like if people understand that if you go 3 months without doing something, you're probably going to go the rest of your life without doing it. You start to really decide you don't need it. There's a science behind that.
Yeah, exactly. A certain amount of days, I think it's like 17 or 21 that you develop a habit. So, the same way for
molecularly, there's a science behind it that says every 90 days, your body is already turning new cells. So remember, you get a cell addicted based on what you do. So if you're drinking coffee today, all those cells, if you keep drinking coffee every day, you've got to wait 30 days from the last day you drink the coffee before you get over it.
You got a bunch of little crackheads inside of you.
That's what you need. That's the best way to put it. You got a bunch of little crackheads inside you, fiending for coffee.
That's crazy. Yeah. My brother, we got your brother's half of the story.
Okay.
Yeah. We want to ask you about just your coming up, man.
Oh yeah,
you guys grew up in Miami?
Grew up in Miami, man. One mom, one dad, 6 kids. Yeah. 3 boys, 3 girls, split right down the middle. Yeah. I'll tell you what, man. The idea of not having a big family drives me crazy. I need the chaos. I need the people. I need the noise. It's weird sitting in my house sometimes and just.
Yeah, you're one of those guys. I'm like that too. I'm driven. You get driven under pressure. You need other people to put the pressure on you.
It's just it makes you feel alive in a way, man. I don't know if that's weird or not, but And then my dad it was a single income household, so it wasn't like we were living, in this. Oh, I got a millionaire parents and everybody's got It was me on this side of the house, my little brother in the middle, and my older brother on that side of the room, and we could legitimately turn and see each other. Yeah. That's the kind of the way it was. And put it like this: if my little brother didn't brush his teeth or I didn't brush my teeth, it was bad. And the same thing for my brother. That's just the way it was. That's kind of the way we grew up. It was fun. My older brother was always the muscle. I was always the little brother. I loved it.
Malky's the oldest, correct?
My brother's the oldest. Okay. There's a sister in between us. Okay. She's also, doing her thing. She's great. And then there's 3 under. There's 2 little girls, and then my little brother under them. So we started with a boy, we ended with a boy, and everything in between.
That's awesome.
It's a cool thing. Yeah.
And you guys have worked together for a long time. Weren't you in real estate together?
Oh yeah. So here's the way it kind of worked. Everything my brother did, I wanted to do, and I always wanted to do it better than him.
Right.
And a lot of people see that as like, man, that's kind of like a thing. Nah, he was my motivation in a lot of ways. He
gives you a lot of credit for that too.
My brother always made it. He always gave me the opportunity because he knew I could handle it. He never put me in a situation he knew I couldn't handle. Right. That was really the beautiful thing about my growing up with my older brother. And I tell everybody like this, even to this day, I can see your contract, but you want Malky negotiating your contract. Right. It's a work of art.
The mouth of the South, baby.
He is a pit bull like no other. And he's not a pit bull to where he makes the other person feel.
No, he's very intelligent with it.
He makes it to where that guy is saying, you know what, Malky? This makes a whole lot of sense. You know what I mean? Like, let's make this deal happen because this makes a lot of sense. And 9 out of 10 times, it always comes out good for both sides.
It does.
Not every deal's perfect, but it comes out good for both sides. But growing up was a big learning experience for me because I had an older brother that was very athletic. He was the guy. Like, when you talk about school, you talk about sports, you talk about that stuff. He did it all. He was already, in wrestling, he was ranked in the state. There's big shoes for me.
Malky?
But
Oh, my brother, man, bro.
Dude, there's put it like this. There's another dude out there that's did his thing or whatnot. But he came to my brother and he said, "Hey man, can you teach me how to wrestle?" Because my brother put him on his ass in front of all of his boys, and that was not a fun experience for him. That was back in high school. I don't know if you know who I'm talking about, but it was okay. So we'll leave that one alone. But so he's
that was a don't blink moment. Right? Hope y'all didn't miss it.
Yeah. So it was cool. There were big shoes to fill, and the other side of it was that he never got a bad grade once.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, I never saw him do homework. I never saw him, open a book to study. I never saw any of that. If anything, I was writing his papers for him. So it was weird to me that he's getting all these great grades and I'm sitting around going, man, what the fuck? This guy, what can't he do? That's the way I saw my older brother,
that's
right?
Awesome, man.
So that's the way I've always seen him. He's always been that guy that I've always been able to put up and say, that's my older brother. I've always been, that's my older brother. That's it. You know what I mean? So it feels good. It feels good. We started working. Like I said, everything he did, I did, and I wanted to do better. So when he worked at Burger King, I wanted to be at Burger King, and I wanted to get the faster time on the drive-thru than he did, right? Then he went from Burger King, he went to go work in retail. I wanted to go and I wanted to take the best salesperson position that he had because the way I looked at it wasn't that I was in competition with him. I'd be disappointing him if I didn't do that, right? Yeah. Like he just put me up for this job, and damn, if you go in there and disappoint, well, you got to go deal with that monster.
I don't
role model. Oh, it was great. And then we decided. We decided. He got into the finance world, and they asked him. They said, who can do what you do? And he goes, the only person I trust is my brother. He's the only one that can do this stuff. I was 17 years old. I don't know what the fuck I was doing. And I was like, bro. First off, I didn't believe it was real. Like he goes to me, I'm making this money every single month. I'm like, what are you doing selling drugs? Like, what's the And he goes, no, bro, look, let me show you my paycheck. And I go, oh, set me up with an interview. Like I'm wasting my time. Mind you, when you're 17 years old and you're making $1,000 a month in retail, you're like, bro, I can go take a chick out. I can have a car. Your priorities are different, right? Mm-hmm. And then you see that money and you go, wait, I could take out 5 chicks if I can take out 5 chicks if I got that kind of money, So you kind of look at it, and we did that, and then he put me on. I went ahead and I exceeded. I did way better than I was even supposed to do in my mind on that end. I never think I'm going to do bad, but I was like, wow. Like even me, I was like, holy shit, I'm in the hood. I'm in the hood and I'm able to do this. Wow, and put me in a good neighborhood to see how these numbers go. Right, that's my mindset. And me and him just got smart, man. It was just smart. It was like, dude, how much money did you make this month? I made this. Don't get me wrong. At 19 years old, making over 6 figures. Back in 1999, 2000, homie, I'm the biggest baller in Miami in my mind, right? Like that's kind of the way it is. And he says, dude, we're leaving too much money on the table. And I said, what do you want to do? He goes, let's go open up our own spot. Let's go. The one thing I can always say is that I've always had my brother's back in all the things, in all the business ventures, all the stuff. He knows I'm the conservative one. So when I tell him I got your back, he knows that. For some things, it's a go, right? Let's go with it. And there's been very rarely times that I tell him no. There's been a few, but for the most part, he's smart as can be. So I'm like, yo, let's ride. We got this, No,
absolutely, so man. It goes for both of y'all, because when I sit in the office with these guys and we start talking about, now you're in sports management and and we start talking about things that pertaining to me for like, contract and stuff, and you guys bring out these ideas where I'm like, damn, thank God I have these guys. I wasn't about that.
Yeah. And then I was going to ask him. So how was it transitioning from the real estate to first round?
Yeah. Right?
So it was interesting because we opened up first round while we had the real estate company. And this was a very tough time for both of us, for me and my brother, because when we first opened up, it wasn't that bad. The market was still stable and we were able to be okay. When the market crashed,
2008 hit, right?
My dad died.
Oh,
me and my brother went our separate ways a little bit. Like it was just a lot of family stuff, and the market was shit, and money wasn't coming in. It was just really, really tough. Right. So he wanted to stick to football. My brother absolutely wanted to stick to football. I found an out in medical supplies, and I said to him, "Would you be pissed if I go?" He goes, "No, man, go do your thing. Like it's all good." I said, "You sure?" He's like, "Yeah." I said, "All right, cool, no problem." So I went and I opened up a medical supply company.
And he got pissed.
No, he didn't get pissed. He was actually real happy for me. He was good. He was good. And I told him, I said, it just is not sustainable, and I'm trying to start a family. So when you're trying to start a family, you want something that's going to sustain, the thing through. And lo and behold, 5 years later, he's like, "Yo, are you happy?" I go, "No, I'm dying."
No,
he goes, "Yo, you wanna come back and do this?" I said, "Fuck yes, let's go." You have to understand, I'm a sports guy, so I'm deep in football, deep in basketball, baseball, and I understand, and I'm good, but I'm not. Who's deep in baseball?
Right.
But right, that's it, right? Not against it, and I think that's one of the hardest sports in the world.
And they get paid.
So I'm not mad at them, and there's not a hate on baseball, but it wasn't there. But every sport, and then MMA, I've always had an eye for talent, and when it comes to MMA, I don't know how it is. Some guys play, some guys coach, some guys can analyze, I guess, and I'm one of those guys. So I was able to sit back and say, that's a guy. And then when my brother called me, he was like, "Yo, you want to come in and do this?" I was like, "Bro, please, I'm dying over here. I feel like I'm don't get me wrong, making a killing. I'm doing really good. My family's great. Everybody's happy. And I'm dying inside." I don't know if that makes any sense.
Absolutely.
I legit feel like I'm burning my mind. Like I'm sitting here in front of a computer taking orders all day. Wasting away. No, there's no creativity coming out of me. There's nothing. Nothing. And I remember my ex-wife at the time, and that's why she's my ex. She goes to me, "You're really going to go do that?" And I said, "You don't understand. If I don't do that, I'm either going to murder you or myself." And I don't want that to be the case. I want to go. And, she couldn't see it. It's all good. We have we're cool, but it's just at that time, it didn't work for me. And I went to my brother and I said, "Bro, let's go. I'm all in." Caused the divorce, the whole, it was 100% the cause of my divorce. And I was like, this is God talking to me. I didn't take it as a blessing. Thing. No, I took it as an absolute blessing, because even though I wasn't making at the time the same amount of money I was making then, and the same lavish lifestyle and all that stuff, I really enjoyed what I was doing.
Right.
Yeah.
And for
you
me
weren't working anymore.
I stopped working when I came with my brother. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of the way I saw it. And I tell everybody, my brother saved my life. It's not a joke. I wasn't depressed, but I was just rotting away, man.
Right.
I was rotting away. So it was cool.
Because when you do what you love, you don't work for a day in your life.
Right there.
You don't. When you're doing what you love, you're never working. Dude, I tell everybody, do what you love before you do what you want to get paid at. Because think about it. You met a crypto guy that doesn't love crypto?
No.
And watch this. And all those guys that love crypto, they're not paid?
They milking it.
You see, you talk to a guy that loves crypto, and all of a sudden he shows you his wallet, and he's like 8,000 Ethereums.
No, that's the first thing they do. Are you into crypto? Look at my Coinbase. That's the first thing they do.
That's it. So
they can't wait to show you their bank account.
That's it.
Hey, my brother. And another thing is, man, I know whenever anybody sees Jorge Masvidal, they see you right there. You're the right hand man for that man.
That's my boy.
How did that relationship come to be,
dude? It's. I've told this story, I feel like, in the last month a few times, just because the fight got announced.
Right. Well, shout out to George fighting on 305.
Yes, on 305 day. Awesome. He came out with he picked up. I should say he came out. He picked up. There's a brand out there called 305, which is a.
I know those guys. Right. Shout out to 305.
305, and it's funny because he's fighting on 305.
Yeah.
And I think they're coming up with the slogan. The kid is really creative. He's coming up with a slogan, and he said, why wait for 420 when it's 305?
Perfect.
Hey.
Killed it.
All of Miami right now. Come on, bro. You know what I mean? I'm like, dude, it's perfect. And with the fight coming up, it was great. So the story between Jorge and me, it's cool because obviously Jorge's been down here in Miami, like a lot of the guys, the Baboon, you name them, and there's just a lot of guys in Miami that have been fighting. And I saw Georgie fight Baboon in G-Force Promotions. You remember the G-Force Promotions?
Yeah.
Right,
Baboon actually beat Georgie on that one.
Baboon actually beat Georgie in that one, right? And I sat back and I said, man, I don't know if Baboon won that fight or not. Like that, but that ended up being the case for Georgie going forward in all the fights. You sit back and you go, how did this guy lose? It didn't make sense to me, right? Yeah. It was really like, in my case, and again, back then judging was a little different, and I still think judging sucks now in MMA. It's still not up to par, right?
Absolutely.
So I have a client, and he's about to fight Jorge. This is before I had Jorge in the UFC. In the UFC, and I'm looking at my client, and I'm being in the nicest way possible. I'm going, "Are you sure you want to take that fight?" You know, he's like, "Yeah, man, I think I'm going to beat him. This and all that." I was like, "I want you to beat him, and but I just think for risk reward, this is not the fight. Why that fight out of all the fights? Why that one?" He says, "I just think I match up really, really good to him." I go, "You realize he has really good takedown defense. It's not like he's like I did my homework on everybody, and then you're talking about a guy that's in my backyard. I'm going to know him more than the next person, right? So I'm like, he has really good takedown defense. Are you sure you want to do this?" And he's like, "I just think I could beat him everywhere." I said, "Fuck it. If you think you can beat him everywhere, let's go. We ride. You know, it is what it is." So we booked the fight. Fly out there, and I see Georgie, and Georgie is on the scale, weighing in at 155 pounds. How, I don't know. Yeah. And he got on the scale and he put on the show. Yeah. And as soon as that thing closed,
boom, fainted. No shit.
Falls over. They catch him. At the time, his management was this girl and this guy, ML, whatever the thing is called. And they, give him the smelling salts, wake him back up, the whole thing, right? So, you know me, homie. Go to the body early and often in the fucking thing because this guy is dying. Like, let's go, So
let it rip. I just saw him die.
If you go to the body, you have a really good shot of possibly gassing him. Just get past the first round. That's kind of the way my thought process went there. And fight starts. Georgie gets popped. I go, oh shit, this guy's gonna win. Fuck, this guy's gonna win. I go, holy shit. You could have come up to me and said, "Yo, I want to bet you that this guy against Georgie who's going to win," and I would have said, "I'm not going to bet." Whenever I tell someone I'm not going to bet, it's because I'm just not betting. One, it may be that close of a fight that I'm just not on it, and the other one is I'm never going to bet against my guy, so it's not going to happen. So I just didn't think this was a good fight for the guy. So pops in, Georgie recovers. Next thing you know, this fight slowly went from Georgie got popped and is losing to Georgie is coming on. He's a tough guy, man. He's a tough guy. Coming on. Next thing you know, the guy shoots on Georgie. Georgie throws a darce.
Oh, shit.
Georgie taps him with 1 second left in the freaking first round.
Damn.
I go, oh, my God. I was just like, bro, you've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. But Georgie's from Miami. And for me, what he just did in that fight was impressive. And this is the way I looked at it. So I go to my guy, bro, tough. Back to the drawing board. Let's go. Don't worry about it. He's a tough guy. You didn't lose against anybody bad. Georgie at the time was ranked, I think, 8 or 9 at 155 pounds. So this is not like a bad loss. It's just it is what it is. And then I see Georgie, and Georgie's got this slick smile on his face, and I'm like, bro, you did it. Good job. It is what it is. You beat my guy. And Georgie, being Georgie's laughing, but just smiling in a very undisrespectful, respectful way, which is cool, and I don't mind it. It's a funny type of way. Yeah. So I look at him and I tell him, I hope you call somebody out because these guys put all their eggs in this guy's basket, and they're hoping to God he wins, so that way they can push him harder than they've ever pushed for a guy. So I really hope you call somebody out right now. You don't do the whole, I'll just fight whoever they want me to fight. He says, yeah. I said, just believe me when I tell you, if you do that and you set yourself up for the next fight, you'll be good. So he gets the microphone, he goes in there, and of course the first question that comes out is, what do you want next? Well, I just want to fight whoever the UFC tells me to fight, and whoever they got next in front of me, I don't care. I'm going to fuck them up, blah, 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 all this stuff.
Fuck that up. Fuck up the opportunity, dog.
What the fuck is wrong with you, right? So two fights later, he has Ally Quinta was the last one, and that was the in my opinion, the straw that broke the camel's back. We had exchanged numbers that day, and I told him, I said, bro, whenever you need help, whenever you want a thing, just let me know. And I get it. He just won, so he's probably thinking to himself, there's nothing I could do, blah, 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 this shit, right? It's all good. So it took 2 years from that day. It took 2 years of me constantly telling him, yo, come to my office, come to my office, come to my office. And he's openly telling me I don't have management right now. Whether he did or he didn't is not my problem. He told me I don't have management right now. I'm coming. He set up maybe 15 appointments in those 2 years. He didn't make one of them.
He hit 305 and forgot.
He was in another world, and I kept on and I kept on. I never stopped, and I just said, bro, you're in Miami. It doesn't make sense that you're not with us. Like, it just didn't make sense. And then he goes to me, okay, why don't you come to my house? I said, okay, send me your address. Next thing you know, I find out the guy lives right behind me. Right behind me. This was the craziest thing in the world. He lived right behind me. And I go to him, bro, I go to George, how long have you been living here? He goes, bro, like 3 years. I was like, you got to be kidding me. He's like, no. I was like, dude, I live right there. He goes, no way. And I think that's what kind of solidified it, because it was just like, okay, damn, all the signs are there that you should be on, right? And it kind of worked out.
Right.
So that's the story on how I signed Jorge Masvidal. The rest of the stuff of like us always being together and whatnot, we became friends
over time.
We became friends, and I like to think that I become friends with a lot of my clients. The same way my brother does. We definitely become friends with a lot of our guys. It's different for the guy that's in New York. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to be able to be there every single day, right? But I am on the phone, and I am 100%. I answer everybody. I don't let anybody go without a text or a call or whatever it may be. But it is different. Jorge can walk into my office. You could walk into my office. There's going to be a different relationship with some of the guys that are right there. With
Absolutely.
Us. You know what I mean? And it's cool. And it's. But if you ever called me, it's the same. I don't take one over the other. It's just not. That's not the way we're.
No, and I'm talking from experience. I walk in and it's like I'm walking into my house, man. Hey, sit down. Every fucking beautiful office, comfortable couch. And another thing is, it's a great relationship when you have people in this industry, which is fighting, which is a rugged, rough place to be, the hurt business. They're not only working the best deal out for you to get the best money, they're working out great deals for good fights, and they're putting you in good position. So it's easy to develop a great friendship out of that.
I'm all about it. We're growing. We're all growing in the same industry, and we all have different ideas. And my rule with my brother that's been a little bit different is, like, my brother, it's hard to get a meeting with him. It's not easy because he's got meetings every single day, and they're usually top level meetings. It's not like he's not. And not saying that I don't have those kind of meetings, but I take every meeting. So you could be a guy that's just walking in and saying, hey, I came to see Abraham. I'm like, come on, let's go sit down. Even if it doesn't come out to anything, you just never know what idea you're able to get from a person. So some of my biggest deals came from me taking a deal that I thought was never going to come, or a meeting, I should say, that a deal was never going to come from the meeting. And next thing you know, I'm like, dude, that's a massive deal. How did that happen?
Yeah.
It's pretty, it's cool.
It's true. you never know who's walking in with the idea.
Take a meeting.
My brother, how was 2020 for you, man?
Man, tough, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think for all of us, I think for everybody.
Hey, it definitely started real tough. But November 2020, I set the record for the fastest knockout, so it ended up being amazing.
God bless. Yeah, that's good.
And it birthed me going into
transition.
Like I said, God bless. I'm not mad. It was. I think we all had our ups and downs in 2020, and some of the ups were really up, and some of the downs were really down. And I think more so than anything else, it affected. Like in our industry, we were blessed. One, we're in Florida, which is an open state. Yeah. Thank you, thank you, Governor DeSantis. Appreciate you. So we're
Ronnie.
So we're in a good place in Florida, and they opened up to everybody. So we were in a good place for our industry, right? But I think the stress between the kids, the parents, everybody, just across the board, you've got to imagine, man. Like I didn't see my mom for a little bit because I was like, dude, am I going to give her? Is there a chance that I have? Even though I didn't have COVID for a long time and I got it, I got over it, everything was great, but you still have that in the back of your head, like, yo, are you going to have COVID? And then you have your kids that are sitting home and.
Yeah, that's what they're brain fucking with on TV too. You're a killer. You're a super spreader.
Dude, you're a super spreader if you don't wear 18 masks. Why not 19? Why is it 18?
I can still smell the fart through these 18 masks.
That's such bullshit. So it was good though. But 2020, we were able to do a lot of good in terms of just the sport. Everything kind of changed for everybody. Now every person has become a brand. I don't think that's ever happened before. It used to be you follow the big guys and that was it. If you weren't a big guy, you didn't get anything. I think now with the evolution of social media, the evolution of the internet, the evolution of all of these connections, the podcast and what's going on, I believe 2019, 2020 redefined the world in a big way where now you can be you. You could be you, I could be me. I'm going to relate to certain people. You're going to relate to certain people. You're going to relate to certain people. The idea is get your message across. Get your message across your way in your voice. So then that way those people relate to you. And now you're going to gain your followers that way. And you're going to gain a base that's not set up on, because I won a Golden Globe, I'm all of a sudden the greatest thing since sliced bread. Because if you look at any of those Golden Globe winners, you go to yourself, I wouldn't hang out with that person. Not once would I hang out with any of those people, right? So you now look at more realistic people like Joe Rogan, who all of a sudden had, believe it or not, Joe Rogan's boost in popularity, his biggest has been now.
Yeah.
It's been now. It wasn't 10 years ago. It was now. He's been working for 10 years.
Yeah,
you look at Joe.
Exactly.
He's been putting in the time.
Yeah, he's an overnight success that took 15 years.
Everybody is.
Yeah.
Everybody's an overnight success that took 15 years. Unless you win the lotto, you're not. And even them, the lotto guys have like a system, right? It's a 10-year system to finally win that one card. And it's like, wow, okay, so even then they're a 10-year, hard work to get there. So and nobody knows that better than fighters, in my opinion. Fighters and wrestlers know that. This boxers too. Anybody that's in the combat sporting world knows that, because you guys know that the only way you lose is if you don't work hard. That's the only way you lose, because you never lose. Your fight with Thiago, you didn't lose. You never lost. The way I look at it, those aren't losses. Those, what you found in yourself, that fight, I don't think you ever knew about.
Absolutely,
you won. That's a win. You know what I mean? That's kind of the way. That's kind of the way I see that.
Absolutely, and I gained a lot off of not getting my hand raised, but I learned a whole new world of things, man, about myself and about the way the game is, man.
I feel bad for the next guy that fights you. I feel bad for the next
February 19th, Knuckle Mania 2, baby.
I feel bad for the next guy that has to go in there.
Yeah,
with
I've been training him. Look,
there you go. Well, let me ask you. Did it make you hungrier?
It did. It did. It awakened a different, quote unquote monster inside of me, and look, we grew up in Miami. We grew up around a fucking million tough guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And everybody, the famous quotes would be like, "Oh no, man, you gotta kill me. You gotta kill me." And then until you get hit one time and they run away. And I proved that day that I had that in me. Hey, listen, you got to kill me, man. I'm here to go to the end. This is what and I love it, man. It's something I love. It's amazing.
Like I said, I don't think he lost that fight in any way. Obviously there's a
I gotta look.
That's what I'm saying. It's there, bro. It's there.
Look at that infamous picture.
My brother. There's no better picture in combat sports than that one.
He looks like he's marrying us right there.
That's not what I'm saying, bro.
I do.
Yeah, man. It's good, dude. I love the combat mentality, the combat warriors mentality.
Yeah.
If CEOs took that, which you'd be surprised how many CEOs have that mentality,
right,
where they don't lose in the boardroom, they don't lose that deal, they don't lose this, and if I'm gonna lose, you better take everything from me before you take that, before I give you that L.
Right.
That's kind of the way, the attitude is. So it's there. And that combat mentality warrior, those are the top 1%. It's really just a mindset. It really is. It really is a mindset, and you got to have that dog. If you don't have that dog, and you
ain't
it's
gonna
fake.
develop
It's
that.
fake, and it's
absolutely. That's the most important part. And that's one of the biggest things. I always knew I had the dog in me. I always felt like I had the dog in me, but you never really know until you get put to the test.
And you showed it, bro. You're a dog. You're a dog, bro. You're a dog.
You're a dirty dog.
Let's go.
Brother, what's on the horizon? What's coming up next for not only for Abe Kawa, but first round? I mean, things we could talk about, because I know.
So
305.
Yeah, 305 is really the big fight coming up now. But there's so many other fights that are coming. Andre Arlovsky, just got signed to fight again.
I got to meet him the other day with you, man. I love that guy.
He's
another pit bull.
Another pit bull, man. And he's one of those guys that is very, very straight faced. He's not but he's the funniest guy in the world.
Well, he's Russian.
He's Russian, right? He's Russian. So he's got a big fight coming up. I've got between MMA boxing and let's call it the triad. I don't know the triad boxing.
Get me in there too.
That's another one. That's listen. The more of these promotions that come, the more of these promotions that want to pay guys, the more of these promotions that give you an avenue to show your skills, the better.
Yeah.
So there is the UFC, and they're the big dog. They've got the biggest platform. They've got everything when it comes to eyeballs. These other promotions are giving fighters an opportunity to showcase their skills. When Mike Perry was
at the triad,
I don't want to say let go, because he was never really let go from the UFC. We actually got. We worked that out with them, and they were actually happy for him.
Well, it's funny that he said he thought he had another fight, but his contract was up.
Well, Mike's a fighter at the end of the day, right? What are you gonna do, right? He's a fighter, and he's a true fighter. He's gonna go in there, he's gonna box, he's gonna put on a show, and he's gonna fight until he can't fight no more, right?
Absolutely.
That's Mike's.
He's a dog himself.
He's a dog himself. I love me dogs, bro. I love dogs. So with Mike, it was like, man, UFC still wants you. You may not fight until this date. If we go this route, you're going to get paid XYZ amount of money. It's going to make you this. And for a guy that's never seen that kind of money, the platform means nothing.
Right.
Like if I told you tomorrow, yo, you're going to go fight for $1 million, but only one person is going to see it.
Yeah, you getting that million.
Tell that guy he's not allowed either, bro.
You see what I'm saying? Like that's the way it is. And once you go through it and you've been on the platforms and you've been, doing these things for so long, you start realizing, man, and this is not a knock because they've opened the doors for so many people and they've done so many good things. It's not a knock on the UFC, but it's more of a, once you've done that, you start to realize, man, I'm worth a certain amount of money. I have a value to me, and I can go get that somewhere, where someone's going to pay it, and there will be someone who pays it. That I can tell every fighter who's listening to this, every person who's listening to this, even if you're not a fighter, in your own industry, you have a certain value. Go get that value.
Absolutely. The thing about UFC is a machine, and it's a well-oiled machine, and it's rolling on itself. So, no knock on them for not paying the people what they're asking for. But, there is those other promotions opening up that are giving the fighters bigger chances to get paid bigger, purses. So
absolutely. And all that does is reset the market. And that's a great thing. We want that. We need that because then now the UFC has to go in and compete for the talents of these guys. And that's what you want as a free NFL, Major League Baseball, NHL, all the big sports have free agency. Yeah. And it works within teams, right? It doesn't work within leagues. It works within teams. In the combat sports world,
and they kind of got a union too, which helps. The fighters don't got too much of a union.
And you know what? I'm not against the union, but I'm not also for a union. I don't know what a union is going to do or not do. And in the world of, I'll give you an example. In the world of fighting, when you look at the UFC, it works really, really well for the guys just starting. And the guys at the very top, those are the guys that really don't make the money. The guys who are just starting, you got to think, what 2-0 boxer makes $2,000? Yeah, it doesn't happen. What 10-0 boxer makes 20 grand. Right. It doesn't work. It's not in that business model. It doesn't work. The UFC's figured it out, and they've figured out a model that works for them. And God bless them. It is what it is.
Yeah. And again, I've always said too, it'll be hard to unionize fighters because, bro, you got to go through fucking shit to even, to make it to the UFC. It's like the dream. You know what I mean? So for them to tell you, yo, don't sign a UFC contract until they pay you this much, like, bro, that's not my dream.
That's not realistic. You do it for free at that point, right?
Yeah.
So it's a good thing. But again, the more these promotions pop up, we've got so much going on, and we've been killing it. And when I mean killing it, I'm telling you, it doesn't matter whether you're in the UFC, Bellator, PFL, Triad, BKFC, Gamebred FC, Showtime Pettis, the new Icon, Fury. It doesn't matter.
He's low-key showing off about all his shit right now.
Well, shit. Gamebred's Icon is Friday. West Palm Beach Convention Center. We have two former UFC guys that are going to headline the card there. It is a gloved event. It's not bare knuckle. It is a gloved MMA event. But if there's tickets available, guys go kill it.
Icon is also Dean Tool.
That's Icon. So Icon was Dean Tool. Yeah, Dean Tool. Dean Tool is probably the next best matchmaker in the country, in my opinion. He's really good. He does a really, really good job. And what we do is we always surround ourselves with good people. As you see, as the way it goes, we always surround ourselves with good people. And we said, let's go get him. And let's go do something. And then, we did. And then Georgie met him and he was like, yo, dude, why don't we do this? And it kind of worked out. They just said, let's do it.
No, Dean, I met Dean actually last Knuckle Mania with your brother. Your brother came and introduced me to him, man. Fucking everything I see, he's just a go-getter. He's like another, like Malky cloned himself, kind of, you know what I mean?
Dude, Dean started wearing black shirts because of my brother.
Hey, and listen, no bullshit, bro. Malky has to be one of the best motherfuckers at dishing out you gotta, if you can't take a joke, you can't hang around.
I tell everybody,
you make motherfuckers cry, bro.
I tell everybody, my brother loves you if he's cracking on you.
Yeah, exactly.
If he's not cracking on you, he probably don't like you, and he probably ain't gonna fuck with you.
No, and he has a great memory, and he has backup shit from that. He'll bring up shit from yeah, he's amazing.
Fuck yeah.
My brother, a huge part of this show, man. This is show 50-something, bro. We've been a year straight. Congratulations.
Congrats.
We ask all our guests, man, we want to know, do you believe in aliens?
Oh, man. So as a believer in God, and I'm more of a Bible guy, right? So I gotta look at it. I gotta look at it like that. I believe that aliens could possibly be fallen angels. And I'll stick to that, because if I start getting into the whole alien world and the Joe Rogan stuff and all that, you don't have enough time on your podcast for us to sit here and go over that, because we could talk about the stars, we could talk about Antarctica. If you want to get into some creepy shit, we could do that too.
Wait, what's in Antarctica?
You don't want to know. So
Google that shit.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, please Google that shit. But it's a funny topic, and I think it's one of those things where, if you start really understanding history, you will really start to understand the future. Right. And history, they say, always repeats itself. Right. It does, and it does in a way, whether you try to change it or not, it will still repeat itself.
Right.
So if there were aliens in the Bible, they were angels. They weren't aliens. They were angels. And I've got to assume that if there were angels in the Bible, there has to be angels still to this day, right? Like that's kind of the way it goes. So when they say that they're going to do this and they're going to do that, pick up a book, start with the Bible. You'll figure out everything there.
I'm the same way as you, and like you said, there's things on this earth, like the pyramids, that we still can't explain. So imagine somewhere out in the galaxy.
Shit, then niggas at Antarctica. What's in Antarctica?
Yeah. Hold up. Because I want to start a podcast with this. I don't want to do sports. I want to incorporate sports, but not really. I don't want to do the Joe Rogan thing. It's not my thing, right? I absolutely want to do this. And I want to do one where it's all about just... Like, dude, there was a TV series called, The Oddities, or I don't know what it was, right? Like on that stuff, right?
Yeah.
So if you start talking about pyramids, I went to go see the pyramids. Okay. I did a trip, me, Georgie, like it was my cousin. We all went to Egypt.
I think I saw you guys with the whole group.
It was one of the most eye-opening things you can ever partake in. And you're wondering, well, shit, you got to go see the pyramids is a dope thing. Yeah, but even when they tell you in books, this is how the pyramids are, it's evenly aligned. You can't stick a credit card through the thing. And then you go in there and you realize there's nothing in here.
Yeah.
Well, what the fuck was the point of this, right? Yeah. What was the point of putting this big ass thing here?
Yeah.
They weren't tombs. That's a bullshit.
Right.
All that stuff. Then you start figuring out all the stuff that they take out of there, and you go, wait a second. So you're telling me black seed oil will keep my hair purified if I start putting black, or my teeth, let's say, it'll keep it strong and hard if I start brushing with black seed oil? Holy shit, Colgate's been fucking me for I don't know how many years. How much black seed oil costs? It's pennies on the dollar. But you look at these mummies and they're mummified and you're going to yourself, how did you keep their hair like that? And then there's argan oil, which they sell now and they commercialize it. But real argan oil, homie, your hair will never fall off your head. Shit! This doesn't make sense. Too late. It's funny, bro.
Get the other half of that beard.
Here's the beard, So it's a trippy thing. It's a trippy thing, but history will show you the future if you just dive into it a little bit.
Absolutely. And look, and just to get off the subject, we don't even know what's fucking in our own oceans, man. So
hold on. So right quick, to add to that that history, say that phrase?
If you want to know the future, dive into history.
Boom. So when earlier you said something about like 2019, 2020, like it just opened up like a new, I guess with like social media and the internet and all this stuff, opened up like a new, almost like a new, like something new, basically. That's what it was. Like it's like a tick. Like we just switched right now into some new shit, and then it's coming with all this other new shit that's coming in here, as far as like the crypto, the this, the meta, the blah blah blah.
I was talking with Mike today, and we're talking about like right now we're like in the internet 2.0, because the first one was the dial-up, and now we're like digital, where everything's fast and it's just gonna keep increasing.
Could this be that? Could this be like the, you know what I'm saying, the history repeat, and then we're starting something?
Well, maybe. I mean, that's a possibility. I think it's more like, okay, if you look back at some of the ancient hieroglyphics in Egypt, right? There's these hieroglyphics of a person sitting down and there's a tube in front of them. You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah.
What fucking tube is back in Egypt at that time that they're able to put a tube right? And now you don't see that in the history books, and there's no comments on that. But you've got to dig into that. You've got to figure out, well, wait a second, hold up a second. You're telling me back in the God knows what time, what age that was, there were these little boxes, and you don't know what they are because it's drawn, on a thing there, and it's just, squiggly lines. And there's a person sitting there. There's not one. There's many of them that do that. If you look into even our own history in the U.S., let's go back a few, right? Did you know there was electric cars way back when?
Oh, I was listening to Elon Musk on Joe Rogan a couple days, and they were saying that.
So I didn't know Elon said anything about that. I found that out on my own. Did you know that from not just electric cars, but we had almost all the same technology they want to switch us to now? We've had that for hundreds of years. Not right now, hundreds of years. And the difference is, we don't know it. So we're not able to study it. Elon Musk obviously knew it, and he's out there studying it, and he's saying, I could come up with an electric car like this, and I'm going to take your money, and then I'm going to give you a car once I have your money. It's the most brilliant marketing strategy, in the world.
He learned it from you, bro.
I wish. Listen, he's in trouble when GM decides to go full electric because, their reach is, well, think about it. Tesla is here in the U.S., right? GM is all around the world. They already have their tentacles.
Why do you think any other companies haven't jumped in like full blown like that?
I think he has a good head start on everybody though.
Yeah,
which is but
$300 billion head start.
But you gotta understand, like, what goes good here in the U.S. for the U.S. consumer. We're 300 million people. I don't know. 300 million people, right?
350 on there. Yeah.
How many people are in China?
1 billion.
So you got to understand. So if you get $1 for every, a Chinese person, you become a billionaire. Yeah. That's kind of the
3 times over.
So for them to do it, so for GM, they don't care about the U.S. market. They want the overseas market because for them it would make them more money to do that. So the idea here is not it's not to knock Tesla. It's just to say that GM is the mother.
Yeah. No, you just made me think about too, because whenever I've been around the world, and whenever you go to Europe, anywhere in Europe, bro, the brokest dude's driving a Mercedes.
That's the way it goes.
And the trucks are Mercedes and everything.
Everything is done like that. And the Mercedes overseas. Oh, that's like God over there. It's the crazy dude. I went to Abu Dhabi. Yeah. And Dubai, and mind you,
this is really good shit. Okay,
I went there for the for Masvidal. No, well, not Masvidal's fight. Let's not say Masvidal. I went there for the Khabib fight. Yeah. I was there for the Khabib fight, and I was staying in Abu Dhabi, and we went to Dubai. But when I was in Abu Dhabi, mind you, there's no Arabs that work in Abu Dhabi. Right. That their economy is so. Like it's so based on oil, and they give a percentage of the economy back to the people. Right. So they're all rich. Every single person there is rich. Right. So they import Indians from India, and they do all the work. But mind you, every single Uber in Abu Dhabi is it's like it could be a Lexus. No, it's not a Maybach. It could be a Lexus, but it's like the LX blah blah blah. And you're like, bro, what the?
Well, I actually saw some shit on what's it called, Viceland, that they have like a Ferrari and Lamborghini like graveyard over there.
Dude, you could drive a Ferrari and a Lamborghini in the hotel that they put you in because it's on the damn race course thing that they do.
Your room key is a car.
It's insane, dude. It's insane. Their idea of luxury is just.
On some other shit.
It's on some other shit, dude. It really is. Like we think, and it's sad because like we're living in the year 2022 right now, right? Yeah. I still say 2021 sometimes, but 2022. Okay, so 2022. But yet,
we're only 18 days in. So
if you look at Miami though, right? Yeah. Miami's still living in the Scarface Al Pacino movie. Yeah, that's what determines if you made it or not. Do you have a Corvette?
Right.
If you don't have a fucking Corvette, do you have a big ass fucking jacuzzi in the middle of your thing? If you don't, you didn't make
the new Corvettes they call them the Cuban Ferraris.
It's a Cuban Ferrari, you know what I mean? So it's wild. It's a wild times. Over there, they're living in the freaking 3000s already, man. It's amazing.
But you know what? At least for me, born and raised in Miami, I love this city. I always will. But when you get to a certain point, you know what I mean? I'm trying to get out of here, bro.
So listen, I've been all around the world. You've been all around the world. You've flown everywhere. I know you have, and I'm sure you have as well.
Yeah, I've been around the world 2 times.
I can tell you this. I miss Miami for a lot of things, man. I don't know where I could move that I could feel like, okay, I'm still home. You got to understand, being able, like, this is the coldest we've been in.
Right. We're up here in hoodies.
I'm in a hoodie in Miami, and I'm typically the one in January calling all my friends in New York and being like, yo, it's 80 degrees outside. I'm about to go outside.
And they're shoveling
snow and they're dying, right? So that's something that we could find tropical weather in a lot of places, right? Yeah. But also the community here is a very different community than other places that I've been to. The closest places I've seen are like in Medellin. I've been to Colombia, and in Medellin is very, like, their community is very, they look out for each other. Right. It made me feel actually kind of good. I won't move to Medellin, but it's a vibe. It's a vibe, right? Yeah. Like it's there. And then if you drive 45 minutes up, you're in a completely different country. You drive 45 minutes down, and you're a completely different country. Right. Yeah. Miami is so unique. It really is. I've been, like I said, Abu Dhabi and Dubai. I drove from Abu Dhabi to Dubai. It's a 45-minute drive. It's nothing crazy. Nobody can speed there because everybody's on cameras, and so it's a true 45-hour whatever drive it is. It's that they're not speeding. So we did that. Dubai and Abu Dhabi are almost the same thing. It's a little bit different. One's on the water,
sandy.
One's not. But it's sandy, and it's really just luxury. Everybody's trying to be as luxurious as they possibly can be. So I didn't find any difference there. But here in Miami, if I need a break from the cheap mind, all that bullshit, I can just drive up to Fort Lauderdale, drive down to the Keys, and I can get a break. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. There's no melting pot like Miami, and like you said, like say you're in Miami, you could find the 45 minutes from Medellin, you could find 40 minutes down, and you can find anything else in the world,
and everything right?
Absolutely. But I still want to move away from here and come back in the winters or something.
Like where?
Yeah, where'd you go?
I'm not sure yet. You know what I mean? Nowhere. I'd move out of Florida just because the prices here are getting crazy. The people here are getting crazy, and I'm saying Miami sense, like, man, we're getting overpopulated here. You can't drive where we over the 5-minute drive to Winn-Dixie. Now it's a 15-minute drive, and people are and it's just and like I said, growing up here, we've all seen it. Like, I can't remember a time from my first memory to today that I'm 40 years old that the palmetto wasn't getting worked on, or 95 wasn't getting, you know what I mean? So I'm like, I'm over that shit, bro.
Hey, save that one for the improv.
I'll tell you what, bro. Listen, I don't think the palmetto will ever stop being constructed.
Yeah,
I think
crazy.
it's just going to keep going and going.
Look, Miami is a racket, dog. It's a racket.
One minute it got 4 lanes. Next thing you wake up, there's 3. They're like, what? Didn't you just put 4 here?
Wait. Tell me you guys aren't happy about those freaking express lanes that they added in there.
Oh yeah. I'm whipping on that thing.
I take that. Listen, it could be one car in the non-express lane. I'm still taking the because you never know when traffic hits in.
I see the expressway lane with traffic and I'll still hit it.
I'm just like, no, it does not matter. Let me get in that express lane. Exactly. That thing was a game changer. Yeah, that really was a game changer for Miami at least.
Absolutely.
But I would say maybe Texas.
I like Texas. I like
Texas. Pretty cool.
Yeah, I was thinking Texas, Georgia, South Carolina. You know,
the only other place that I would think has better weather than Miami is Southern California.
Yeah, San Diego.
San Diego.
The thing is now the homeless people are overpopulating that shit. So
they need DeSantis there ASAP.
Yeah, he ain't playing no games, bro.
That's my dog. That's my dog.
Hey, my brother, man, it's been amazing you having me on.
Hell yeah!
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, for sure, dog. Thank you. I love your perspective from your side of the story.
Oh no, hell yeah, hell yeah! And we
gotta go mash up with him.
Let me say this. There's one thing that growing up in a household with Malky taught me. Okay, it's a very important thing, right? So there's 6 kids, right? And if there's 6 kids, that's a lot of mouths to feed, right? Yeah. So people think that my brother talks fast.
Cereal. He told them about the cereal.
Oh, he told about the cereal.
No, I got another one for you. So everybody thinks my brother talks fast and eats fast. Yeah. But you guys aren't understanding. Growing up with 6 kids in one house, if you don't eat fast, you don't get food.
Yeah.
And if you don't talk fast, your parents ain't listening.
Right.
So to get that attention and to get the thing going, you need to go, and go, because their attention span is like, imagine, I want attention. This one wants attention. That one wants attention. 3 other ones want attention too. What are you going to do? You know what I mean? Yeah. And then the food thing was, if it's served, eat it as fast as you can, because if you want more, you better finish that before Malky finishes his, because you ain't getting there. And back in the high school days, it was burnt quick. So
my brother, before we go, anybody out there that anybody watching out there that trying to follow in you guys' footsteps, man? What man?
So we hire a boatload of interns almost every quarter. Like, we bring in a lot of interns, and it's almost a weed yourself out process. We don't really throw people out or
give them the rope to hang themselves.
Absolutely. But we also teach them, and we also show them the ropes. You've been in my office. You've seen the guys. I hope you've seen the maturity come from
absolutely from all of them. I love that think tank you guys built right there in the middle, man.
We have to. You know what I mean? It's a very open format thing, and we want everybody, if you feel like this is something you guys want to be in, there's many different avenues we can place you, put you, or use your creativity for that matter. Whether it be in content, whether it be in being an MMA agent. If you want to try football, we just opened up our soccer division. We've got a really good guy who came in. He's a former pro player. He knows the industry. He knows those things. We hired him. We have him, and he's already signed like 4 guys for us on the soccer side. I'm looking for a baseball guy. If there's a baseball agent out there that knows the sport, knows the stuff, we've got a whole division.
Baseball and soccer, that's billionaire money, baby.
We're trying, man. Listen, but
they letting it rip.
Football. My brother did his thing, and he built a very strong football division. We're having such a strong class this year. Once
I see constantly new guys signing up from like UM and everywhere.
Well, the NIL deals, the name, image, likeness for those guys it's revolutionary. We're able to go out there and now get deals for a football player that really, and this is. Let me throw my pitch here. If you've got an agent right now and they've never done a marketing deal, and the only marketing deal they can come up with is trading cards, fire him. Fire him today, because that's not a guy that knows how to market. That's not a guy that knows you as an individual, as a player. All they know is, hey, you're going to get drafted and Nike's going to call me eventually. That's kind of the way they work, right? Where all the guys that we've made deals for them now, where they're in college, where, these are brands that are looking for college athletes, and they don't even know it. These kids don't even know it. Now they're seeing it because we're creating the lane. We're creating it, right? You know what I mean? It's out there. So the way I look at it and the way I see it in the football thing, we've been marketing our whole lives. That's what we've done since the beginning. why would you go to anybody else at this point? That's really where I'm at. That's kind of the pitch on the football side, on the NIL stuff. Listen, I got AJ Ferrari, who's a wrestler.
Yeah, going to WWE.
I signed him to the WWE. I've got a whole thing going for him. Awesome. An NIL deal. It's beautiful. It's a great deal. And he's going to, when he steps off that mat, he's an instant multimillionaire. When he steps off that mat, right? That's kind of the idea. He's got to put in the work, but he's a hard worker and he's killing it. So that's kind of the way it goes. So we've done stuff that, what I like to say is, we've in MMA, we've created lanes. People have followed, God bless. We're good. In NIL, we've created lanes. People are going to follow, God bless. It only means that more kids are going to get money. And that's that. At the end of the day, I was a kid, they didn't have $1 to my name. You've been a kid, didn't have $1 to your name. And if somebody came to you and told you, yo, Uly, I need you to post this on your social media for $1,000 a month, I'm pretty sure you're going to.
And that's awesome that they're allowed to do that now, because for a long time that was restricted. You wouldn't make. They'd cut you from the team if you did some shit like that before.
In my opinion, this cleaned up the sport.
Right.
Yeah.
It's going to make it unfair for a lot of guys, but it's really cleaned up the sport. Now, if you're an offensive lineman who's 300 something pounds and you're in a school that nobody knows about, the chances of you getting an NIL deal are slim to none. That's not going to change, right? But if you're a kid that chose to go to Alabama, or you're a kid that chose to go to UM or FSU or UF or one of the big schools, you chose to make that decision because of two things. One, your talent says that you should be in one of those schools. We can agree on that, right? Yeah. That's one. Two, you're in a bigger platform. So now you yourself should be valued at a higher number than the guys that are not on that same platform. If you're playing every day on ESPN or ABC or CBS or NBC or whatever network that you're on, there's a certain value to that. Yeah. And you should be getting compensated for it. And unfortunately, the schools don't compensate them. They get compensated, but they don't, compensate the kids. So now the kids have the ability to be compensated from people that are fans, or, hey, that kid, that starting quarterback for pick a school, whatever school you're a fan of, I want to support that kid. I want that kid to be able to, go to the NFL or whatever, thing they're going to be doing. But until they get there, let me help them out.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. First round management, motherfuckers.
Let's go. You heard it from the man himself, baby.
Right. Hey, how can I find you on social media?
My Instagram is Abraham Kawa. My Twitter is Abraham Kawa. That's it. I don't even use Facebook.
First round management.
At First Round Management. Yeah. All of those. Yeah, just, if you hear this and you decided you want to become an intern, just send them a message. Say you heard me on the Don't Blink podcast. If you say anything else, don't apply. Yeah. But say you heard me on the Don't Blink podcast.
Promo code Don't Blink podcast.
There you go. Yeah, use my code.
Use my code. Been amazing having you on.
Well, thank you for having me, bro. Man. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you, man.
And thank you for everything you do for me too, man.
Always, man. I won't stop.
Yes, sir.
Next time, me and my brother, maybe. Me and my brother.
That sounds great.
Me and my brother.
Oh, both of y'all?
But you know the problem with that. You know what the problem with that is?
He's gonna take over the microphone.
I won't say a word. He'll point to me and go. Is that right? Yep.
And go back to like you're growing up.
That's it. Yep. That's exactly the way it will go down.
Hey, I
love it.
Thank you everybody for tuning in, man. It's been my brother Abraham Kawa.
Yes.
So much. So great having you.
Appreciate you.
And don't blink. Wow.
That was fun. Tonight's got something great going on. We got some great guests coming up. It's gonna be dope. We got some dope people that already signed up to do it with us, which is great. A lot of people show us love, and it's because we love them back for sure.